Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to talk about angles in triangles. Some of this you kind of already know a little bit about. All right, a couple things to remember. Just a reminder that vertical angles are two angles across from each other on intersecting lines and that they're always congruent. So in this picture, angle 1 and angle 2 are across from each other. They're vertical angles. They're congruent. And then same with 3 and 4. They'd also be congruent. And then a linear pair, as a reminder, are two angles that are adjacent, in other words, right next to each other, and supplementary, meaning they add up to 180 degrees. They form a straight line. So in this picture, angle 1 plus angle 2 should equal 180. So those are two things that we've talked about a lot lately. Okay, this is a theorem that we've already talked about a bit, but it's called the triangle sum theorem. And this simply says the sum of all the measures of the angles of a triangle has to be 180 degrees. So in this picture here, angle A plus B plus C. So these three angles right there, if we add those together, that should equal 180 degrees. So let's put that in there. There we go. So that's called the triangle sum theorem. That's an important theorem, fairly simple, but really important. Okay, so if you know two angles in a triangle, you should be able to find the third. So in this first picture here, I know one angle is 61, one is 78. So if I add those together, let's get my pen going. There we go. 61 plus 78 gives me 139. So those two together are 139 degrees. So that means the remaining angle would have to be 180 minus 139, which is 41 degrees. So this is 41 degrees. And you can double check it by adding those three and just making sure that it equals 180. All right, so this picture, remember when you see this little half box here, that means 90 degrees. So if I go 90 plus 65, I get 155 degrees. So if I take that away from 180, then I'm left with 25 degrees. So this angle here has to be 25 degrees. That's the triangle sum theorem. Okay, so then the second major theorem is called the exterior angle theorem. So when you have an exterior angle, this is an exterior angle because it's outside of the triangle, thus exterior. An exterior angle is always equal to the sum of the two non-adjacent interior angles. So in other words, this angle here has to be equal to these two added together. So 1 is equal to angle 2 plus angle 3 total. So what does that mean? Well, if this, let's just keep it simple, is 110 degrees, then the 2 and 3 should add up to 110. So maybe this is 50 degrees. That would mean then that angle 3 would have to be 60 degrees. Okay, so those two together should be equal to angle 1. Okay, so in this case, let's just take a picture and see if we can figure out how this works. So here's this exterior angle. So we know that 40 plus this angle, so 40 plus angle H, has to be equal to 103. So if I want to know what H is, angle H, subtract 40 from both sides. If you do that, you get 63 degrees. So that means this angle here has to be 63 degrees. So I can do that same thing over here just by taking, I know that 73 plus something has to give me 121. So if I subtract those two, that should tell me what I have left over, which would be 48 degrees. So in this case, angle V is 48 degrees. This is called the exterior angle theorem. All right. Let's just kind of put together what we've learned. So here I have a couple a little bit harder pictures, and you're going to use the two theorems to kind of help you out. All right, so I want to find all the missing angles. Angle, let's pick a different color here. Angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3. All right, well, in this first triangle here, I know that it has to add to 180. So if I go 66 plus 84, so 66 plus 84, if I add those two together, I get 150. So then to find angle 1, that would be 180 minus 150, which is 30. So angle 1 would have to be 30 degrees. I'm just going to write this in this picture here. I can't quite do 2 yet. I don't have enough information yet to get that, but I can figure out 3 because these two angles are 84 plus angle 3 have to add up to 180 since they are a linear pair. So if I go 180, let's do 180 minus 84, that would give me 96. So 3 has to be 96 degrees. And now I can add these two together to get my other one. So let's see, add those together, I get these two together, I would get 139. All right, so now if I take that away from 180 minus 39 is 41. So that means angle 2 has to be 41 degrees. All right, so now we've found angle 1, 2, and 3. Just using the triangle sum theorem. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's try this one. Angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3. Okay. Well, we know that 2 is a vertical angle to 61, so that has to be 61 degrees. So we could just put 61 right there. And 3 I can find by adding together 61 plus 90. This is a 90 degree, so that's 151. So if I go 180 minus 151, that's 29 degrees. So I'm going to write 29 degrees there. Okay, and then lastly, angle 1. Well, 68 and 61, add those together, I get 129. All right, so that means, what do I have left over? 180 minus 129 would give me 51. So that means angle 1 would have to be 51. Okay, so that's just using the triangle sum theorem to help figure out some problems. All right, we're going to do a couple, one with the triangle sum theorem and one with exterior angles, and this time using a little bit of algebra. All right, so solve for x, find the measure of each angle. So I don't know what x is, but I do know that the 3 angles have to add up to 180. So in this picture here, I want to just really add all of these angles up, D, E, and F, and set it equal to 180. So I'm going to write that 5x minus 2 plus 9x plus 3 plus 11x minus 21. That has to be equal to 180. So as a reminder here, when you're solving this, you need to combine like terms before you start to actually cancel things out on each side. So that means I want to put together my x's first. So I have 5 plus 9x plus 11x, that's 25x. Okay, and then I have negative 2, 3, plus 3, and then minus 21. If I add those three together, I get negative, what, 20? Now that has to be equal to 180. Okay, so now that's condensed a lot, and now it's a little bit easier to manage. So let's go add 20 to both sides. So I get 25x equals 200, and then divide by 25 on both sides here. X equals, that would be 8. Okay, so I now know x is 8. All right, so then I need to plug in to find D, E, and F. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this just so we have a little more room. Okay, and you can use your calculator on this. D angle D would be equal to 5 times 8 minus 2. Okay, so that's 40 minus 2, which is 38 degrees. Angle E would be equal to 9 times 8 plus 3. So that's 72 plus 3 is 75. Okay. And then angle F is equal to 11 times 8 minus 21. Okay. So that's 88 minus 21. That would be 67 degrees. All right, and we have found those. So solving for x, just using the triangle sum theorem, and then doing a little substitution to figure out. Okay, same thing here, using some algebra to solve for x, and then finding the missing angles, the ones that they're asking for over there. So let's do that. Well, this one, I see an exterior angle, so I know that this angle and this one together have to equal this one. So that's what I'm gonna write. So we're gonna go, let's see, 13x minus 11 plus 4x plus 1. That has to be equal to 18x minus 15. Okay, always simplify both sides before you start solving. So I want to put together my x's on the left here and my negative 11, positive 1. So I want to clean up the left-hand side first. So 13x plus 4x is 17x. And then negative 11 plus 1 is negative 10. And that has to be equal to 18x minus 15. All right. So then subtract 17x from both sides. Get your x's all on one side. This is negative 10 equals 1x, or just x. Okay, and then let's see, we want to add 15, add 15. Okay, so x equals 5. Okay. Now, we're just plugging back in. Now that we know that x is 5, we can just plug back in, use our calculator if we need to, figure out what we get. And hopefully, angle A and CAB, I guess I should say, and ABC should add to be BCD. All right, let's find CAB. So CAB is this angle right here, right? So I'm going to go 13 times 5 minus 11. Okay. So 13 times 5 is 80 minus 11. Yeah. No. Let's try that. 13 times 5, 65. I don't know what I was thinking. Minus 11 is 54. Okay, degrees. Okay, so that's how we get 54. All right. Sorry. And then our next one is ABC. So let's see. That's ABC is this angle right here. So this one. Okay. So 4 times 5 is 20 plus 1. So that makes this 21 degrees. Okay, ACB is this angle, so we're looking for that. That one we might want to come back to, or no, actually we can figure that out, right? We know that this is 54, and this is 21.
Hello, Creative Arts. Happy
So we just want to add those two together. That'd be 75.
Lynch as Shel Silverstein. Come on down to room 4112 to get your prize. Tomorrow is Spirit Day. It is dressed as your favorite character day. So TV show, a comic book, it's your favorite character. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Okay. So just an announcement there. Okay, now that we know that those two together, 54 plus 21 is 75. So that means that DCB has to be 75 or we did something wrong, right? So let's see if we can figure that out. So this 18 times 5 is 90 minus 15 is 75. Okay, so that makes DCB, this angle right here, is 75. That checks out because 54 plus 21 better be equal to that. And then that also makes sense because this angle is 105. So 105 plus 75 gives me a straight angle. So that all works out. All right, I hope that makes sense. Have a great time with this. I hope this goes well. We'll see you later. Bye.